Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you listen to these things. Friday, March 5th. Just going to hop on here real quick, talk about a couple things. Having some technical difficulties with today's episode, so it is not 100% up yet, or it's been up and been removed. More to be determined on that, hopefully in the future. But I want to talk about anger today. And this isn't directed at anyone, so don't get your knickers in a twist. I'm talking about like myself. And one of the things, I like to think I'm kind of an evolved guy. I like to think I'm spiritually evolved, spiritually mature. And one of the things that's hard for me is the process like anger. And what I'm specifically referring to is previous relationships. So I don't want anybody to get anything twisted. I'm not talking about anybody right now. I'm talking about relationships like I've had in the past and how those often spill over and affect like the relationships I have now. And the difficult thing is that I don't like to be angry. I think about the Incredible Hulk, Bill Smash. And don't get me wrong, there's that part of me that I try to fight. I also think there's a difference between being angry and being a fighter. I like to think I'm a fighter, but I think there's a big difference between reaction and response. And we talk about that a lot in our Flawcast. But also, I talk about that on my book that hopefully one day will come out soon. It's just difficult, like trying to process like anger, trying to process feelings. And, there's a verse in the Bible and it says, be angry, but sin not. And I don't quite know how to do that. I'm just being real honest. Like, I don't really know how to really be angry, to be pissed, and not have my mind go to places that are of aggression and things like that. I think of like these like people that I look up to like in history or like in the Bible or whatever. And like, wow, that's a really even killed dude. That's a really enlightened guy. A really enlightened cat. And how did they process anger? Like Moses wasn't allowed to go in the promised land because he was pissed. And, Jesus turned over tables and was whipping people. And I don't know, there's something about being angry that just, it unsettles me. It unhinges me in a way that I don't feel comfortable with. And this is probably too much, too revealing, but I also, I believe in accountability. I believe if you say something, if you do something, then you need to stick up to it and live by it. And, I'm just being honest. And most of these, I don't want to say throw together at the last moment because I think about them a lot, but I normally whatever is on the forefront of my mind, forefront of my heart, is what I talk about. And, last couple of days, work's been really challenging. We are living in challenging times that I see so many people being triggered. I see so many people being angry. And, what are we being angry about? Are we being angry about something that is genuinely worth being angry about? Are we angry about something that in the long run isn't going to really amount to a whole hill of beans? I don't know. I can't answer that for you personally. And that's the thing. Like, I always like to try to take a step back if I can and evaluate things. So that being said, check these out on flawedinc.com. If you like them, spread them, share. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. If you have any comments, let me know. Like, what do you think about, how do you process anger? Do you let it like kind of just fester? The difficult thing is if you don't process it, it becomes like a beach ball. Like when you're in a pool, you try to hold it down. Eventually, I know it eventually pops up and explodes and gets all over everywhere, and it's just a big mess. And that's not, there's regression and there's holding things back and holding things in, but there's also that on the opposite end, that explosion. And I don't believe either are healthy. I believe it's a process of trying to figure out what is healthy, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and in those around you too. But with that being said, I really just think about that. And as you're thinking about it, make sure you get even